Hello friends, welcome to English Ige online lessons. In today's lesson, we want to simply look at Ielts reading strategies. So we're going to have a series of lessons on Ielts. And today we are starting with reading. So after this lesson, we are going to take some different types of passages and then try to see how best we can answer questions on them. But for today's lesson, we are looking at only the reading strategies. Now let's delve into it. The first strategy is skim or skimming. You need to skim first, then scan. Skimming the passage means you want to get a general idea of what the passage is about. So you don't try to understand everything. Even the heading can give you what the passage is about. So if the heading is COVID-19, obviously you know it's going to talk about issues of COVID-19 or history of COVID-19. Then the next thing you do is to scan for specific information. So when answering the questions, at times the questions will have some information like names of people, dates, and keywords. Those keywords, you can try and then underline them and then see if you can find them in the passage to help you answer the questions. So scanning means getting specific information from the passage, and you can use names, dates, and keywords to search for the information. The next strategy is that you read the questions first. So when it comes to IELTS, our normal WAEC exams, normally you read the passage and then you go into the questions and then you try to understand the questions and then look for answers in the passage. But with IELTS, you don't have time. The luxury of time is not on your side. So you can't afford to read everything in the passage or all the passages before answering questions. Otherwise, you will lose big time. In fact, you are going to hurt your score badly because you will not be able to complete the task. So the first strategy, the first thing you are supposed to do when you get the paper is to see the questions first, and it gives you a better idea of what to expect in the passage. So before reading the passage in detail, read the questions. This will help you know what to look for and where to focus your attention. It's very important. Now, when you read the questions first, this is what you are supposed to do. You look for keywords or synonyms in the questions to find them, or similar ones in the text. So the next strategy is to use keywords. When you read the questions, try to underline some keywords. It can be a name of a person, it can be dates, or it can be a particular word. Now, when you get that word, at times you look for the synonym of that word in the passage, not the same word. So let's say, for example, you have something like arrested. The synonym could be napped in the passage. So you don't expect arrested in the passage. You have to look for paraphrasing of it or the synonym. So pay attention to paraphrasing. IELTS rarely uses the exact same words in the passage and the questions. It never happens. It's very rare. Don't overthink. The answers to the questions are in the passage. So read the questions and then find the answers in the passage. Don't try to use your personal knowledge or opinion. That is not what you are supposed to do. In IELTS, it doesn't work that way. Then you are supposed to manage your time very well. You have 60 minutes to answer 40 questions. So you don't have to spend more than 20 minutes on a passage. You have 3 passages. And all these 3 passages will have at least 13 questions under each. So you have 1 hour to answer 3 passages. If you spend more than 20 minutes on one passage, you are going to hurt your score. So if you want to avoid frustration, try as much as possible not to waste time on one passage. If you get stuck, skip. and return if time allows. So don't waste time on one question. If you are not getting the answer, you move on. Go ahead and answer other questions. If you have time, come back to that same question, and then probably you may get the answer. If not, you have to write something. So be careful with questions like true, false, not given. So it's one of the types of questions we are going to look at in our subsequent lessons. But when we say true, then it means that the information clearly stated in the text. Info clearly stated in the text. It means that the information the question has given, or the statements in the question, has been mentioned in the passage. So they agree. What the statement is saying, what is in the passage, agree. So let's say in the question they say animals behave like human beings, and in the passage the same thing has been mentioned but in a different way. They agree, so it is true. When it is false, then it means that what is in the passage contradicts what is in the statement or the question. So for example, if they say animals are very caring, okay, and in the passage something like animals are unfriendly creatures, then you can see that unfriendly and caring, they contradict, so it is false. Now if the statement given, okay, is neither true nor false, then it is not given. So if the passage doesn't include information what the question is saying, then it means that it's not given, it's not stated at all. So you need to be very careful with true, false, not given questions. Then you also practice different question types, and we are going to look at all these ones in our subsequent lessons. So we have matching headings, we have multiple choice, summary completion, we have sentence completion, we have yes, no, not given, or true, false, not given. Then we also have diagram labeling. These are all types of questions you are likely to meet when it comes to the Ielts reading exam. Don't leave any answers blank. There's no penalty for wrong answers, so guess if needed. If you don't know the answer, don't leave any of the boxes blank. Try and put something down, because you will not be punished if you get any answer wrong. Check spelling and grammar, and this is very important. With the IELTS, listening, reading and writing, they don't countenance spelling mistake and grammar mistakes. It is very important you try and then check your grammar, check your spelling, and make sure whatever you've written is correct. Because if the answer is supposed to be a plural word and you write a singular word, it's wrong. If the answer is supposed to be in the past and you write the present, it's wrong. Spelling mistake is also marked wrong. So if you are spelling maybe accommodation and then you write only one C or only one M, it is wrong, and it will not be given to you at all. So you have to pay attention to spelling and grammar. Then practice regularly. Practice makes perfect. So you know your strength, you know yourself, you know your proficiency level when it comes to the English language. So don't be in haste to go and register. All right, don't be in a haste to go and register for the IELTS. Try and then practice regularly and make sure you are ready for it before you register. Use official IELTS practice materials like the Cambridge, Cambridge 15 to 19. They are online. You can download them and then practice with them. And then make sure you time yourself during practice tests to simulate real exam conditions. So it's 1 hour. Make sure you use 1 hour to answer 3 passages so that you will be ready. If you can even use less than 1 hour, so that you know that you are close to the mark. Now note, read every instruction before answering the questions. Some questions will tell you to write only 1 word. Some too, you are supposed to write 2 words. Some will ask you to write 1 word and a number. or one word, and or a number. So if you are writing one word, and or a number, it means that you can write two students. Two is a number, and then students is what? A word. So you have to pay attention, particular attention to instructions. It's very important. Some of the answers you are supposed to write, maybe you are to write maybe the alphabets, A, B, C, D as your answers. If you go and write any other thing, you get wrong. If you are supposed to write the Roman numerals, maybe I as your answers, and you go and write A, B, C, D, it's wrong. So you make sure you take your time and then read the instruction, know what to write as your answer. At times they will ask you to write yes, no, not given. If you go and write true, false, not given, it's wrong, because the instruction says you should write yes, no, not given. So it's important you pay attention to some of these details. You know your strength, so practice until you are ready to write the exam. Remember, practice makes perfect. Don't forget to like, share, and comment.